Now, to discuss the situation in both Syria and Lebanon, I'm joined by Marco Vicenzino, who's director of the international relations think tank Global Strategy Project. Thank you very much for joining us. First, let's just deal with the situation in Syria and this car bombing. What do you make of the situation there at the moment?
I mean, it's just a logical escalation of a conflict which in 18 months has claimed 30,000 people. So basically there are no limits in terms of warfare. This is full-scale civil war. And whether it's a Christian neighborhood or the reality of the situation is that in Syria today, you cannot exclude any possibility in terms of responsibility for these type of acts.
How bad can this get?
I think it will even get worse. Barring any form of external intervention in Syria, if the external international members of the international, the backers of both the opposition and the Syrian government just keep continuity with the status quo, this can get much worse. I mean, far worse. I don't think we've actually ever seen anything yet, barring, once again, some form of international intervention. And
let's look at the region itself as a whole, because it does seem to be spilling into neighbouring countries. We're looking at Turkey now, and we're looking at Lebanon as well.
Sure. Obviously, today in Lebanon, it's the funeral of the internal intelligence chief. It's the potential for spillover into Lebanon is increasing every day. Some even argue that Lebanon has already been engulfed. It's just the beginning. So basically the Lebanese have somewhat three options. One is to allow the spillover to engulf them. Two is to make a conscious effort, specifically the leaders of the different factions in Lebanon, to make a conscious effort to bring together all Lebanese and start a real process and a substantive process of reconciliation and greater national unity. Or the third is simply muddling through. And if you just simply muddle through every day, that once again leaves the potential and a high risk for spillover to occur.
It must be a huge worry, though, on behalf of the Lebanese people of looking back at their own civil war.
Sure. Most ordinary Lebanese don't want this war, don't want this conflict. The overwhelming majority remember, I would say, the 15 years of civil war. Many of the younger generations were born there but don't recall it. But obviously the memories are still living with most people, loved ones that have been lost. And I would say the greatest tragedy of Lebanon is that in terms of human resources, a very, very vibrant people, very energetic people, very resourceful people. But unfortunately, the political leaders of the communities have allowed external forces to exploit their internal differences to the disadvantage of ordinary Lebanese.
Okay, Marco Vicenzino, thank you very much.
Thank you.